Welcome to the Period Besties Podcast with Stasha and Katie. Think about it as chatting with your best friends about all the TMI stuff you've never talked about before with two period coaches who've been helping hormones collectively for over 20 years now. I'm Stasha.
And I'm Katie, and we're pulling back the curtain on what it's like in the world of menstrual coaching. From puberty to menopause and everything in between, we're here to show you how period coaching can save the day. We'll share practical tips and information you can put to immediate use to improve your hormones and happiness.
We're removing the mystery, ending the taboo, and shining a light on just how powerful period coaching can be.
So whether you need period coaching or are considering becoming a period coach yourself, these episodes are going to help you. We'll share stories, coach live on air, and bring smart, savvy guests to share their wisdom too. Let's start today's episode.
Welcome back to Period Besties Podcast for our last episode of the season. Now, to be fair, we're going to play some replays for you, so don't tune out over the holidays. Catch up. But we're very excited to have this last episode, which is just going to be a personal dive into some of the really exciting stuff that happened this year, what was behind the scenes of the podcast, and a little few hints of what's to come next year. So I hope you're as excited for today's episode as I am, because I'm ready to dive in.
I know. And we had such a fun year. I feel like we really got into such a good groove with our interviews and doing live period coaching, and just had some fantastic guests, great repeat guests. But honestly, on the side, behind the scenes, we had a lot of fun. So I got to go to Stasha's wedding.
Yeah.
I want to start with that because so incredible, so beautiful. And you keep sending me photos, and I wish I could go back because I love where you live. We had a great hike. All of it was just so magical. So let's talk about your wedding, your beautiful wedding day.
Oh my goodness. I was stressed. Some of the get ready pictures that she came and took, Chris was like, oh, babe, you looked real stressed. But it was raining on and off all day, and it was an outdoor wedding in a forest, and we had some tents, but we didn't have a ton. So we knew we had enough that we could do the whole thing under the tents if we needed to, but I was really not into that idea. So I was a bit stressed because it just kept raining on and off all day, of course. And it was so slow, and then it whizzed by. I'm looking at the pictures now being like, oh yeah. It really felt like it flew for me, and I feel like I need to go back and watch some videos that people have popped into the Google Drive because I don't necessarily even remember everything that happened at this point. But it was good, and hilariously enough, just as I was leaving to head to the venue, it was sprinkling. I lost a fingernail. It was my ring fingernail, right? The wedding band, the one that they're going to take the pictures of. Fingernail. Fortunately, it worked out because the 15 minutes I spent looking for that fingernail and then diving through my stash of nails to find one that vaguely matched was just enough time for the rain to break. So we got to the park, which was basically across the street from our house, just in time. The rain broke, and then I was actually in the bathroom being unbustled for my wedding dress when everyone was walking up the aisle. So I missed everyone walking up the aisle. I missed the song. I missed all of it. We got there just in time for me to walk up the aisle, basically. So I missed everybody walking up the aisle. I missed my song, which is really sad. They ran over to turn it back on so that I could walk up. But then, it was like a hilarious comedy of errors right there in that moment. It was just very funny to me. I was like, I can't believe I missed everyone walking up the aisle.
I didn't know that you were getting your dress bustled, rebustled, unbustled?
Unbustled, because we bustled it to transport it back up to the house so that it, would fit in the car and everything. And so it was still bustled while we were getting ready. And then Abba, who was our officiant and also who did the dress alterations was like, I'll unbustle you at the venue so that you can not get it muddy in the like back and forth because we were, you know, it was raining. So we were a little worried about that. So he was, well, I guess technically he was in drag. So he was also Stasha at the time. So Stasha unbustled me and then ran up to the altar to the little stand we had. So that was, it was just one of those hilarious moments where it's like, okay, now we have to drive back down to the venue.
Yes. Well, it's so interesting because even as we were driving, there was like a little bit of sprinkle still.
Yeah.
And then we literally pulled up and it was like the clouds parted, the sun came out. We're all like, oh my God, hurry up, let's go.
I know. My brother kept telling me, don't worry. Every wedding I've been to where it was raining, it stopped raining for the ceremony. So I'm here. Don't worry about it. It'll stop raining.
Good thing she was there.
No, I was like, well done. Yeah, no, it was really funny. And then our wedding coordinator asked me if I wanted to do a receiving line. And I was like, I don't know that we're going to have time for receiving line. We have a really like ceremony at 5, which I gave an hour of wiggle room for the ceremony which I'm glad I did because I didn't make it there until like 5:20. So we definitely didn't start until 5:30. The food was supposed to be at 6. So we had a taco truck with like a couple of really good New Mexican.
Oh, delicious.
Oh my God, it was so good. And I kept going over and stealing bites from people because I wanted to try everything.
Oh my God, my boobs so
So we had that, and then we had the cheese. We had a tiered cheesecake instead of a cake. So we had tiered cheese wheels, and that was supposed to be at 7. So it was just like we really didn't have a lot of time for in between things. So I was like, I don't know if we're gonna have time for a receiving line. And then, of course, like as we walked down the aisle, everyone kept like we got to the end of the aisle to go up to the upper park where all the food and stuff was, and everyone just came over and lined up. We were like, I guess we're doing a receiving line.
Yes. Okay. So first things first, that cheesecake, I had a hard time imagining it. And then I saw it. It was the most beautiful cake I've ever seen. First of all, I love cheese. And I took so many pictures of this cheesecake because I was like, this is genius. And it was so beautiful. Have you put photos of the cheesecake yet on Instagram?
No, as of our recording right now, the only thing that's made Instagram is my shoes.
I also love. All right. So when this recording is up, you have to have some pictures of that cheesecake because it is gorgeous. You
Yeah.
must have cheese.
We do. We do. We have 2 of the top tier left, and we have 1 of the middle tier left. So like because the cake that they assembled was just 1 tier of each, and the bottom tier was actually no, we have some of the bottom tier left too. So the bottom tier was a rosé cured cheese. So it was like bubbly and effervescent and tasted a little bit like wine, and then it had rose petals on the top, like as part of the brine or the outside of the cheese. So it had rose petals on the top. And then the middle one was a rosemary encrusted cheese. And then the top one was this cheese that the guy described as 1 step from being butter.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so full and I still tried all the cheese.
Oh, me too.
I'm like, I can't possibly put anything else in my stomach. And I did.
They were great. It was also their first wedding. They'd never done an event like that before.
That's what I
So
was going to ask you. Like, this is not something, what do they have a cheese shop?
yeah, the Mouse Hole in Albuquerque, it is actually a divine little cheese bar, and you can get sandwiches and things as well. People are always coming in there to take cheeses to like sandwiches and things to go. I think they do salads as well, but they do cheese boards. So you can go in, there's like 4 or 5 different combinations of cheese boards that you can pick from. And then they have a very well curated wine list and a couple of drinks. So you can go down. And so when my parents were in town, we went down, we got 2 of the cheese boards and did a tasting. And then we went and did a tasting for the wedding itself and picked everything out. And it was outrageously expensive, but it was really delicious. And I just kept saying, if we were doing a gluten-free wedding cake, it would probably be probably a little cheaper, but not hugely. And we love cheese. And my sister-in-law actually is a florist and she does a ton of weddings. And she's been working at like the nicest florist shop in San Diego for decades. So she's done a ton of like high-end weddings and events. She goes, I have never ever seen a tiered cheese wheel cake at an event ever. She was like, I cannot believe that I have not seen something at a wedding before. She was like, that was amazing.
It was amazing. And I feel like it was just so beautiful with the woods behind it.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I
They
love
also
cheese.
asked like what were our wedding colors so that they could bring edible flowers and things to decorate the cake with. So it really did like have the floral things, and they did green apples around the bottom. So they did gold like chrysanthemums and rosemary and thyme, and so everything was edible. All of the decorations for the cheese were edible, and they were the same. They were the wedding colors, greens and golds and oranges and stuff. So they did a good job. They did surprise me at the end with an extra bill after everything was over because they stayed longer than they planned. And I was like, dude, bro, like I gave you more money than the food truck. I gave you the most money out of anything we did. You gotta rein it in, buddy. Like, I'm sorry you went
Yeah, like,
over, but you didn't have to. No one asked you to stay.
yeah, like you could have gone home.
Yeah, I know. That's what. So he was like, okay, well, how about this? And so I was like, okay, fine. But he was like, it was our first event. We didn't know. I was like, well, that's still not my problem at the end of the day. Like, I did food service for 20 years. I had my own restaurant. Like, sometimes it's your problem, and this is a your problem situation.
Oh my God.
But I
You know,
did
there's
have to take
always
pictures.
something when you're planning an event, when you have a wedding, not to talk about myself, but our wedding photographer took so many pictures, not one photo of me alone in my dress.
Really?
Yes. So I got the photos back and I was like, did you take any other photos? She's like, no, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't have any pictures of me in my dress. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. I'm like, you're a wedding photographer. Like, how do you not take pictures of the bride in her dress?
Like, that's your
And I
one
was just
job.
like, I gave her a list of shots, you know, and yeah. So what I'm saying is something always doesn't go as planned, and you're just like, okay, like roll with it. And she's like, you could always get your photos taken with your dress. And I was like, why would I do that? Like, it's so
You're like, I already
strange.
paid you to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like it's after the fact. It's not my wedding day. I'm like, it's fine. It is. It's fine. It's been, oh my God, 12 years. It's fine. But I was just saying, like, there's always something that you plan for that you think is going to go one way and it just doesn't.
oh God, there were so many things that didn't get done for the wedding too. And I know part of it was the rain, and part of it was like because it was friends and family that were doing the setup. It wasn't. But like we had all these things for the bathrooms, and we had all these like we had gold rimmed plates for the cheese that never made it out, and we had color coordinated napkins and things that never made it out to the tables, and we had the joint bar that didn't make it out either, that I in my dress in the reception was like, where's all the weed? I made like 30 cones for this. Where are they? No one got them out. And then our wedding coordinator came over and she goes, it's probably a good thing we didn't find those because I don't know that they would have all made it through set. I was like,
Probably
okay, fair
not.
enough. But like I was hauling them out of the bathroom in my wedding dress to get them out on the table. There was no cup, like I didn't get a glass. So everyone was drinking champagne and I had no glass. My brother went back to our house and got me a coffee cup
Oh my God, I had no idea.
so I could drink some wine.
Your
And then
family is
actually,
savvy.
Alana, one of my really good friends, my brother from another mother, his wife, she came over and she was like, do you have everything? Do you need anything? And I was like, I could really use a glass of champagne. Do you know if there's any glasses anywhere? And she was like, hold on. She went over, she grabbed Jeff, her husband's goblet. He had like a really nice glass, like wine glass. So she went over, grabbed his, came back, washed it out, gave it to me. She goes, we did manage to get a matching set. We want to take them back, but please use this.
He was so helpful and on it, and she needs to be an event planner.
I know.
She's
She's
really good.
amazing. Yeah, it was so funny. But I was like, thank you so much. So we could do some pictures, like
Yeah.
toasting with Chris and I. So we had two glasses. We did have glasses set for us, but they just got picked up along the way
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
and taken home. And because that was our favor, right? We got all these beautiful glasses from shops and stuff, and they got taken home. I was like, they're not here. Like they're gone, gone. So
I don't know where mine is, but I do not have it anymore. I was gonna say you have tons of party supplies though for
We do.
future parties.
We do. I made an entire box
Party.
of just the leftover party stuff that didn't get put out or we forgot or missed or whatever and put them in and just labeled it party supplies.
Yeah, no, perfect. And cheese for the holidays.
Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely bust out some of that cheese over the holidays. We're
So
still finishing off we took some of that leftover cheese down to our honeymoon and we finished off some of it at the honeymoon, but we didn't we had like a half of this huge wheel. We brought some of it back and then I cut just chunks and put it in the freezer. And so there's still a chunk from the wedding in our cheese drawer in the refrigerator.
Oh my God, I
Still
love
good
it.
though.
Well, you'll have it for your 1 year anniversary. You're supposed to eat the top of the cake, so you'll have your cheese.
Yeah, that was my thought, was to save one of the top tier cheese blocks and put it out for the 1 year anniversary. But yeah, then Gail, who was she did all the flowers for the wedding and she did the coordination day of, which was just amazing of her because oh my God. But she brought us a gluten-free cake to take for the honeymoon. So she came home. She came back to
Oh,
our house the next day and was like, here's a treat for the honeymoon. Since you didn't have a cake at the wedding, here's a cake for the honeymoon. So it was a fun. I mean, and Noelle, my woman of honor, my ninja of honor, works at this really high-end wine place in Denver, and she brought us a phenomenal bottle of champagne for the honeymoon. So we took the cake and champagne.
perfect. Oh, and you have to talk about the kitten.
Oh my God, that's right.
That was the most random thing I've ever seen.
Okay, so to set the scene, we're at the end of the wedding. It's a state park inside the national forest. So there's a little guy on a set of wheels coming around being like, okay, it's time to shut things down. Like it's time to go. So we're packing things up and we're getting everything. And I'm standing there with Noelle and we hear this cat crying. Now, you have to understand that Noelle has rescued more animals than I can't even tell you. I've lost count over the years of the animals that she's rescued. One time we were in her garage in Los Angeles and we could hear a cat meowing and she just took a hammer to the wall, ripped out the wall of her garage, found a kitten stuck on the cord that the garage door goes up and down on, got him
Ow.
off the cord, brought him inside. He was full of mites. It was 4th of July. This is an infamous story in our group of friends because we were supposed to host a huge 4th of July party. Nobody could come over because we had a mite infected kitten and everything was closed. So we had to cancel everything. We had Costco size food for it. So we just ate hot dogs and hamburgers for a month after. I
But how
got
did the kitten
I
get
got
in the garage?
in the
Like,
in the wall of the
yeah, but
garage.
how?
I have no idea. We don't know. We just
That's
know that she
crazy.
had to call because it was like a condo that they owned and the garage was just like one garage in a row. So we had to call the office for the place and be like, "Hey, look, here's what happened."
What did
She
they say? Did
also
they charge her?
No, they came over and they were like, that was so good of you. We'll just patch it up for you. It's not a big deal. I know. And then one time we were driving home when she was still bartending in LA. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I was following her home, and she just stopped her car in the middle of frickin' La Brea, like huge avenue. She just stopped her car in the middle of it, jumped out, door wide open, car running, everything, and runs off. And I find out that she had seen a dog and she ran after the dog to try and get it. So, this is the level of saving lives that this woman does. So,
But
we're
the
standing there, end
kitten,
of the wedding, in our dresses and everything. And we hear this cat meowing. And Noelle just drops everything in her hands and runs into the forest, comes back with a tiny orange kitten.
it was so cute. Oh my God.
It was adorable. She brought it back to the house. I have 2 cats, so I got a little cardboard box. We filled it with some litter, gave her some cans of cat food, and basically got her started. And then she was supposed to stay for the events afterwards. And she was like, well, I guess I'm heading home. There's a cat now.
Oh, she left?
She left the next day.
I
She
didn't know
stayed
that.
for Sunday's brunch and hangout. And then when we were all going to Santa Fe, she just took off. She was like, I'm just gonna head up. What I can't, get in and out of the car with the cat in the car. So she just took off. But Turns out that cat had been so undernourished. We guessed, so again, we've rescued a lot of cats. She's rescued a lot of cats. So we guessed that that cat was about 2 months old based on its size. And it was actually 4 months old. It was just so malnutrition that the vet said that he probably wouldn't have lived much longer had he not been found and rescued. And we assumed he started yelling because he heard people and he smelled food and he thought, this is my last chance to get out of here alive. So he just raised a ruckus and she ran into the forest and, and found him out there in the woods. And the guys who were driving us from the venue back to the house were like, is that a cat? We were like, sure is.
Yeah. It's funny. She needs a t-shirt that my best friend got married and I got a cat.
I know. Somebody had written a story about how they got married and found a cat. I was like, oh my God, that literally just happened to us. Except I didn't take the cat. Noelle took the cat, thankfully. And then her parents were at the wedding and they were like, drop the cat off at our house because they used to have a cat as well. And she hasn't had one since her last died, which was the midst of COVID. It was a whole thing. She was like, I can't right now. Like, this is too much for me emotionally and physically. So she didn't have any of the cat stuff left. She gave a bunch to me when she moved. So her parents were like, drop the cat off at our house. We have all the cat stuff. We'll take him to the vet. We'll get everything. You go get all the supplies you need. And she had just bought a brand new couch and everything. So she was like, let me get some scratching things on the corners and stuff. So her parents took the cat for a few days and got him all cleaned up into the vet and his shots and everything. So it was a true community healing for this cute little cat who was named Forrest.
Perfect name.
Yeah. And he's your classic orange cat. He's running around her apartment being crazy, but he's put on a ton of weight. So that's really encouraged by how well he's bulking up. And she was like, he might stay small because he was so malnutrition for so long as a kitten, but he might not. He might get pretty big. She goes, he's got some paws on him. So we'll see.
Yeah. And now he has like love and a home and
Oh,
all food and
I
the
have
best,
always,
best mom.
oh, I know. If I've said for decades that if I pass before Noelle, I'm coming back as an animal. So I need her to find me and rescue me because I want to be one of her animals specifically.
I always say that. I'm like, I would love to come back as a dog, my dog, but to like amazing parents. That's the only way that you can do it.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be married?
It's funny because it's like nothing's really different, but it's very awkward saying husband.
I say hubby a lot.
It's really weird. Even though we had said that before, like when we moved in here, everyone just assumed we were married. So we just let it go because,
Yeah.
and at that point, I kind of thought we would probably not ever actually legally get married. So I wasn't really worried about it. So I would just let it go. I was like, yeah, sure. So telling the neighbors that we were getting married was a little bit of an adventure because they were like, you're not married? And we were like, no. But you're welcome to come to the wedding. So they all came, but
They were so kind. I loved meeting all of them and hearing what took them to the mountains and how they just wanted to get away and all of it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
they were amazing. Everyone was really great. All of my friends were like, oh my God, everyone was so nice. All my family was like, your friends are great. All of my friends were like, your friends are great. It was a ball having all the worlds collide in one place at one time. I'm looking at pictures now and I'm seeing people in groups chatting that I never in my life would have put together had you just said like put these people together. It was amazing, but they're like laughing. You can see on the photos, they're laughing, they're having a great time. But I was like, I never
love
would
your
have.
friend Keisha. We need to get her on the pod.
I know, for real. And you know
Fabulous.
what? At the wedding, so Keisha's writing a book. Everyone stay tuned. We'll let you know. It's going to be a spicy novel.
I'm so excited.
But at the wedding, she met another one of my friends who does illustrations. And so she's having her do some mock-ups of a book cover. So she may end up hiring one of my other friends to do the book cover. Well, I mean, she's, got some other artists doing covers, so she's going to pick which one she likes best. But like, I love that even at the wedding, like connections were made and business deals were done.
That's cool. I was like, I need to be your best friend. I love you.
I know.
She's so funny.
I always introduce her as my oldest friend.
Yeah, she's great. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you've been married 3.5 months, right? Yeah, so crazy. It feels like yesterday. The other thing that I thought was really ironic, this will be the last thing I say, It was so cold. And the year before you mentioned it was like in the 90s
It was. Yeah.
on the same exact date.
Yeah. The whole month of
With the
September,
fire
in
on.
fact, the year before, it was 90 every day. It was not a drop of rain. It was perfect, beautiful weather. It was like 70s at night. Like it was amazing. And then this year it rained every single day. Every single day. So
And I'm like, wait a second, it's September and I'm standing in front of a fire.
I know. It's one of the reasons I wanted to have it at that particular park was because there was a huge stone fireplace and there was a
I'm glad you
bonfire
did
pit
because
and
I stood in front of that. I danced in front of that. That was my home.
I know. I have one picture of you, my mom, and me standing in front of that fireplace. I had my dad and my now husband go down to the tent place and ask them for sides, walls to the tents because it was so cold and rainy. And the year before, it was so hot that I was like, no, we don't need walls. It'll be too hot to put them down. And then I was like, oh, we need walls. So they went up and got walls attached to the tents for the
Oh,
event.
smart.
If it
Yeah.
was still really cold and rainy, we could drop the walls. But I mean, the weather, man, the mountains. I gotta tell you, one of the hardest things was describing the dress code for the invitations. I was like, I don't know. It could be 90. It could be 50 and snowing. I don't know. I have no idea. It's the mountains. Bring everything. Bring two seats. I mean, I don't know what to tell
I
you.
mean, I wore my rain boots. I loved it. I'm like, I wish I could wear rain boots at every wedding. They're so comfortable.
I did tell people just bedazzle your chucks, bring some wellies, bring some rain boots. Like, don't wear stilettos. We're in a park. Like, if you really want to wear heels, make sure they're platforms, something with a solid
Oh
sole.
God, if I had worn heels, I would have been like stuck the whole time. Oh, the last thing, last before the band. I don't know where you found them, but I loved every single song they played. They were jamming, they played Fish, Grateful Dead. I was so excited about the band.
Yeah, that my neighbor used to sing with them back in the day. She's a singer, right? She jumped up on and sang with them during
It
the
was so
reception.
good.
Yeah, so she was like, "Look, my wedding present to you is the band. I can get them at a decent price. If you can just tip them a couple of $100s, that would be great." And I was like, Deal, done." And yeah, they're like an absolute amazing jam band. They're so fun. But I did ask them to learn Just Breathe by Pearl
Mm.
Jam. It's a song that's usually just Eddie Vedder and the guitar, like an acoustic guitar is usually how they play it. Although if you go onto YouTube and you look it up, there's one video of them playing it on stage with an orchestra that is just
Oh, wow.
so good. So I asked them to learn that. I also asked them the song that we walked out, well, I wanted to walk down the aisle to was the Mountain Song by Top House. And they were like, okay, that might be a little bit because there's a violin in it that's really intricate and they don't have a violin player. And they were like, we'll probably just play that over the PA so that you get the full song for that, which I didn't even end up getting the full song for that. But they did learn Just Breathe. And Bill, the front man of the band, came over after the wedding. He came back to the house for the after party and he was like, oh my God, I had to play that song a dozen times because I kept crying. I couldn't sing the whole song because I just kept crying. I had to play it so many times so I could get through it without crying.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm gonna have to like go on YouTube because I can't, I'm having a hard time remembering the song.
Yeah, it was hilariously the last song of the night. Yeah, because
Oh,
we we were gonna go in and do like the first dance and everything, which just is not how it rolled out. So at some point, somebody came over and was like, hey, you guys need to come over and dance so that people can feel comfortable coming up to dance because the band's playing, but no one's dancing. So like get over here and dance. We were like, just play something fun. So I don't even know what they played for technically our first dance. They just played like a fun, upbeat
oh.
song, which was a ball. We just
Yeah, I love
had
to
a
dance.
ball. It was such a good time. We had such a fun dance. But then at the end, I did my dance with dad towards the end of the night. Like Chris got his mom dance in early somehow. I don't know how. And then I just didn't have time. And it was towards the end of the evening. And I was like, oh, you have to play the song for the father-daughter dance. Cause frankly, we did this entire wedding for my father. It was so he could walk me down the aisle and have the first dance or have the father-daughter dance.
I don't know if I've ever seen a father so excited for a wedding in my life. I love your dad. Every outfit he had, I was like, this is perfect.
I
He
know. He
best
crushed
hats.
it.
He was so, I think he was the most excited about the wedding.
He was. He was the most excited about the wedding by far. And we did several things that we weren't planning to do because dad wanted to do them.
Which is amazing. I think that's like the best way to like have a wedding and
It
all
was
of that.
fun. It was an absolute ball. And I wouldn't have done nearly as much if it weren't for him. So I'm glad we did because it was really, we had such a good time. Although on the day up to Santa Fe, my family forgot me. So that was a moment where I sort of had a little like bridezilla moment where I was like, so y'all were just gonna head to Santa Fe without me? No one thought like maybe we should text the bride and groom and see if they're ready to go, if they planned this entire day for us because we asked them to, but then we didn't even mention that we were leaving.
Oh my God. Yeah, family.
Yeah, so I had a little breakdown there where I was like, I don't have to go. It's fine. No, don't worry about me. I mean, I know I'm not like a part of the core family because most of my family is in a cult with themselves. So it's like, I understand I'm not like in the cool kids part of the family, but like you could have maybe thrown me a text just to like let me know. Like I got one text from one of them that was like, hey, what route did you plan to go up to Santa Fe? And I was like, you can just follow us. And they were like, oh, well, we're going to leave now. And I was like, well, then it doesn't matter how I'm going to go. If you're leaving now, why are you asking me? Just go. Like, who cares? And then I got one text from somebody else that was like, hey, we're heading up. We're dropping off someone at the airport and then we're just going to head to Santa Fe. And I was like, wait a minute, why in the hell did I have to do this whole plan to take y'all up when nobody even wanted to go with me? So then my mom was like, I thought we were going to Santa Fe. And I was like, you know what? We don't have to go to Santa Fe. Why don't you guys just go and we'll just hang out at the house? And then I had a little bit of a moment. And then dad was like, okay, that's enough. I was like,
Get in the
no,
car.
you forgot me. Like you forgot the bride. No, no one's gonna shame me for feeling a little shitty right now.
Oh
You
my God.
forgot me.
So funny. Oh my God. Family, family, family. Well, I spent 6 weeks with my family this summer.
Mhm.
We went good transitional phase. We went to Greece for the summer. The
Oh, so
boys
pretty.
don't have school in August, which is fun. Their school goes all a year, so September through end of July. Then they have August off. So my husband gets a sabbatical every 5 years with his company. So you get 5 weeks off. So we went to Greece. It was amazing. I've never had better tomatoes in my entire
Right.
life. I was like, this is what a tomato tastes like. The tomatoes in this country, we get heirloom, they're great, but in general, the tomatoes here taste
Yeah.
plastic. I don't know, like waxy plastic. Like
Yeah.
they're just so gross. We ruined tomatoes, and it really pisses me off because anytime I'm in Europe and I have a tomato, I'm like, oh my God, these are so good. I took so many pictures of tomatoes. But we spent the first week just relaxing and getting adjusted to the time. And then we spent the second week volunteering, which was incredible. We volunteered at Greece has a refugee camp for people coming from all over, but most of the people that I met were from Syria, Iran, Afghanistan, and Sudan. So they all pretty much walked from their countries to Turkey. Many of them were put in prison because that's what they're doing for refugees. They eventually like got to Greece and then it's waiting there to get their papers and to figure out they're all seeking asylum.
Yeah.
And we worked for All for Aid, which is an organization that helps people around the world like going through that transitional stage. And it was women and children. And it was the most incredible experience. My husband worked in the pantry and literally was helping people pick out things, but also filling bags of beans and rice and oats and different products. So the boys spent a lot of time with him doing that. And then I was downstairs because it was women and children. So anyone over 5 wasn't allowed in the main room because it's a safe place for the women to hang and be and not be around men,
Yeah.
put it blankly.
Yeah.
And I was in the massage room and I was giving like feet and hand and like shoulder and neck massages and just talking to these women. And they were telling me all of these incredible stories of their bravery and their strength. But they didn't think that they were brave. They didn't think that they were
Mhm.
strong. And they were like, "You're so brave and strong for coming here." I was like, "No, I just got in a plane. Like, I'm good. You traveled, like you left a lot of them were young, like left their families, like had to leave. One woman left with four of her, with leaving her children with her sister because her husband had passed and her father had passed. And if you're a woman in, I believe she was from Sudan, if you're a woman and you don't have a man, they can do whatever they want to you. So she had to leave. So she's seeking asylum, and then hopefully her kids will be able to come join her soon. But hearing all of these stories and resilience, and one of the things that was just so incredible was the experience of not knowing each other's language, but being able to look in that person's eyes and have a shared experience and feel the love. And we were hugging and laughing. And it's incredible to get a group of women together, right? No matter if they know each other, they don't know. And like within 30 seconds, you have a common bond, no matter what your experience has been, no matter what language you speak. And I saw the same thing with the boys. Like they were with the kids and they were just playing and like being kids. And for a moment, it was just really amazing to be able to share that experience. The hard thing is like, I don't know where they're going to end up. Like, I don't know if they're still there. I don't know if what country they were moved to. Also, the fact that they left everything to better their selves and their family too. So it was just really interesting to be in that place and to share that energy. Like anytime I was hugging or massaging, I was just like sending them love and strength, giving them the energy to kind of carry on, because some of them, it had been a year. It's a long process. And I think a lot of times but some people, we think of refugees and people seeking asylum as not equal. And it's not true at all. I mean, I think that anybody that is trying to better themselves and their children, it's very important that everybody gets treated with just respect and dignity. And I think that was the one thing that I hope we were able to give to them and show them, that they have respect and they have strength and they're so brave. Like the stories that they shared with me had me in tears. Like it's so hard for me to know that anyone's suffering and then knowing that this is their reality. It's not something I'm just watching on TV or hearing about, but actually firsthand information, and just squeezing their hand. And it was just a beautiful experience. And I feel like the boys, as much as they could understand, just knew that they were helping people. So that was amazing as well, to like have them witness us as adults giving back and like helping people.
I mean, I've always said that everyone should have to work in a restaurant, but I also feel like everyone should have to volunteer at a refugee camp at this point. I remember when that started, because the island you were on, Lesbos, was the one that I lived on when I was in Greece. And when it first started, I had messaged a few of my friends that I had made that lived on the island. And I was like, how is it going with all of the refugees? And they're like, honestly, we just head down to the beach and just hang out until a raft or a person or a boat comes, and we help them get to shore and get them over to the places that will, like the volunteer places that'll help them do the paperwork and everything, and go to work or, come home for work and kind of help people up. And so it was really fascinating to hear what like just the local people were doing when it started, because there was no anything in place. Like people were just washing up on shore at first. So it was interesting to see the progression of just like the local people who lived on the island into aid groups coming in and helping set up things and putting it together, and then having volunteers come in from other places to put it together. So amazing. And honestly, like when you said you were going there, I was like, wow, there's still like it's been years,
Oh yeah.
that's been going on. And I was like, oh man, I can't believe that they're still having people just like wash up on shore, because that island is closer to Turkey than any other Greek island. So it's
It's very
actually,
north. Yeah.
yeah, it is, you can see Turkey from it, but you can't, no other Greek island, like they're not close enough. So it's really fascinating to kind of see how that played out. But I loved seeing your pictures, because for me, it was like a blast from the past. I was like, oh my God, I love that village. Oh, that was so cute. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh God. Everybody is so kind. And what I also loved about Greece was the fact that everybody loves children. So no matter where we went, nobody was giving us like dirty looks. Like sometimes we'll go out to eat and it's kind of a nicer restaurant and people kind of give us looks because the boys are loud. Every parent I talk to has had this experience and so annoying. We were all kids at some point, and I get it. Like before I had kids, I was like, please don't sit next to me on the plane. Like, please don't sit next to me. So I understand that, but I've never given people like dirty looks. I'm so shocked at the audacity of some people of just dirty looks. And everybody loves kids. Like everywhere we went, they were giving them ice cream and candy or like high fives or hugs. Like so many of the boys are very affectionate and they just love hugging. So they would just like run up and hug random people. And a lot of the grandmas would just say, oh, why don't you and your husband go to dinner? I'll watch the boys. I'm like, I don't know you. I can't just leave my children with you. But I felt there's such a strong sense of community and also like love and everybody just, I don't know. I never felt nervous that somebody was going to like snatch our kids or whatever. Like, not that I think anyone's going to do that here reality wise. Like my brain's always kind of watching and making sure whoever's at the park, right? Where I didn't have that same experience there, maybe being naive, but they just don't have like issues like that. They don't honk the horn at anybody, which was so nice, especially after living in LA for so long. Like that haunts me, that noise, and like New York City, like
I feel the same here. Like people don't honk here. And I'm like, oh my God, if you were in LA, there would be an entire chorus of horns.
yes. It's so nice. The food we had, every single thing we ate was just absolutely insanely good.
Oh my God, the food. And I cooked a ton over there, but like I went to the vegetable stand and the dry goods store and then the butcher, and you could only get chickens on Thursdays and you could only get lamb on Sunday. Like it was, oh my God, the food was amazing.
Nice. And just the history. I mean, my hubby was so psyched about the history. And the other thing was awesome was like we would wake up in the morning, we'd kind of have a plan. We could gradually wake up, spend all day together, all night together. And it just was a very relaxed. I felt like I spent a lot of time with my boys, but I felt like I got to like really get to know them in a different way, just traveling. And they're so adaptable. And it was amazing that they could make anywhere we went, they made friends, kids from all around the world. Had a little bit of a mental breakdown on top of the Acropolis. So that was interesting, screaming, crying. I'm trying to like take pictures because I'm like, we're never going to be here again. You got to see this beautiful thing. And it was just funny. And then by the time I just knew that they were hungry, you know, same thing with me. If I'm tired or hungry, I'm going to lose my mind. So we had snacks. It just was never enough food. We also were walking like 13,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. And now we go for walks with the dogs and they're like, oh my God, I have to go for this walk. What are you talking about? We walked for miles at a time, but I guess it's different when you're on vacation. I don't know.
It is. When we were in Europe, we were doing 10 miles a day, easy walking. Even my mom, my 83-year-old mom, was doing 10 miles a day. And I would be like, Mom, do you want to get a cab back? She'd be like, No, I want to walk. I want to see things. Like,
Yeah.
but to go for a walk, anywhere else, it's like, oh my God, I have to go.
Like so funny. It's like such a mindset. But we had an amazing time. Went to Crete, which I would love to go back to again. Hana is like the coolest city. We spent time in Santorini, which was beautiful. It was just really, really busy. And then we went to Peloponnese, if I'm saying that correctly. It is the mainland of Greece, about 3 hours away from Athens. It's like, if you look at the map, it's like the three fingers pointing down. That's where we were. It was amazing because it was just like no tourists. It was all people from Greece just visiting and traveling. And the water, like so jealous of the beautiful, every beach. We were like, this is the most beautiful beach we've ever seen. No, this is the most beautiful beach we've ever seen. Beautiful place. Love the people, love the food. And we'll see where we go this summer.
Oh, I totally live vicariously through you on that Greece trip. I would go back to Greece. In fact, it was one of the things we were like, if we can get a good honeymoon, where should we go? And it was on the list. It was in the top part of the list, in fact, was to go to Greece. Oh, just such a gorgeous country. And you're right, the food and the beaches and everything. I mean, just absolutely stunning.
Yes. And in the middle of all of this, Stasha, what else did we do? What
Oh,
did we do
yeah.
before?
In the middle of all of this, I did all of the paperwork to be a nonprofit. So I started a nonprofit, Period Coaching Collective. Katie, thankfully, has agreed to be one of our board members. So we did that. Chris's mom, who sits on boards for USAID, she's been in the UN, worked with the UN, UNICEF, several fourth world nonprofits and stuff agreed to help as well. And actually, one of the period coaching school guest teachers, Archana, also agreed to be on the board. She also sits on a lot of nonprofit fourth world boards, and she generally works in Africa, Asia, that kind of Northern Africa, Asia, India crossover there. But with the government upturn and upheaval here and the defunding of a lot of those places, she was like, well, I guess I'll have some extra time on my hands. So I'm happy to help. So we've got two people on the board who are old hands, at least running a nonprofit. They're not exactly fundraising people. So we're not only going to need fundraising people and an accountant and a lawyer. I know that's also two positions we're going to need to fill on the board at some point when we have people that, if you know anybody who wants to sit on a board for a nonprofit that's a accountant or a lawyer, please let me know.
Like, I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that's why we have Janet and Achana to help us get this whole thing going. But we officially, like a couple of days before the wedding, got the notice in the mail that we were an approved 501c3. So one of the period coaching school graduates, Tiffany Saruda, who does website design and came and chatted with us, is going to do the website for the nonprofit. In fact, I just got her information today. So hopefully by the new year, we should have a website up for Period Coaching Collective. And our mission is ultimately to bring people from all over the world who are in lower income communities. So that includes the US, but everywhere in the world, there's low income communities that need help. So we want to educate women leaders in these communities so that they can go back and be like the period coach for their community, so that there's somebody who can help with fertility, right? If you can't get access to birth control, if you can't get access to a doctor, if you can't get access to just even the knowledge about it, they can teach their like younger girls how to be aware of fertility, charting, tracking, those kinds of things, so that they can have control over their fertility, even if they can't get access to birth control or OBGYNs or that kind of thing. But then also have people who are there educated who can help with problems like painful periods and PMS and all the things that go wrong, right? Somebody who can go out there and be educated and help their communities, and then just start educating their community on that cyclical living and understanding how to eat the best that they can in the situation that they're in, that kind of thing, which is what Period Coaching School has the scholarships for. But this way, instead of me not getting any money and being able to keep a roof over my head because the scholarships come out of my pocket, this way we can send the scholarship people to the nonprofit to get the same education as Period Coaching School with the business as well. So ideally, they can even start bringing an income into their communities and maybe even educate some other people to become period coaches and bring more income into their communities. Because we know when women bring money into the communities flourish.
Yep.
There have been studies done on this. So we know that when women bring in the money, the communities flourish. When men bring in the money, they don't. So we'd like to see, that was part of the thing was we'll do the menstrual education so that there's somebody on the ground in the communities that need it, but also the business coaching. They still get the business coaching and of course the coaching. So hopefully we'll have people who can not only help their communities, but also have a business, have a side job, have a part-time job, help other people, but bring money into the communities as well as knowledge and education. So essentially taking the mission statement of Period Coaching School and applying it to a bigger space where we can have donors and people can send in money to us and get a tax write-off for themselves. But then we can also turn around and help all these people. And like one of the things that I can't do for period coaching school at the moment is send out materials, send out charts and flyers and pamphlets and educational, the foods, the lists, all of the stuff that we have. It's all digital, which is fine because most people are paying for period coaching school and they can afford to print and send things to their clients and that kind of stuff because then they're getting paid by their clients. But this is a situation where these people are going back and they're not going to get paid necessarily by the people in their community because they probably don't have the money for it. And they probably don't have the money to print and everything. So it's one of those things that like I would love to do for the schools, to be able to send out people these huge packets with all this stuff. We can't financially do it. We have a lot of scholarship students in the school and it takes all of the resources to help. But hopefully when we get the nonprofit up and able to, I'm working on bank accounts right now. So hopefully when we get that done, we can start taking donations for the nonprofit. And then when we really get it up and running and we're making enough to do that, we can also send out packets and everything. And one of the things that Archana gave me when I met her in Geneva at the UN, she gave me this huge packet of what they distribute in the low-income areas of the puberty packets and the period packets and all of these things. So she gave me this huge envelope just full of all the stuff. So we can also work with that nonprofit that does make those things. So we can also work with them so that we can use some of their materials and help them. And then we don't have to reprint things that have already been done. And so we've got some good connections, maybe not necessarily fundraising wise, but we do have some great connections that will hopefully help make a lot of stuff on our end easier and cheaper. So we can be a really well streamlined not-for-profit. So I'm super excited about it.
So excited. Stay tuned, everybody. Once the coming soon is off the website, we'll let you know. And other news, we are going to start season 3 back. Can't believe it. So exciting, in February. So stay tuned. In the meantime, we're going to have replays of some of our favorite episodes and some of your favorite episodes. Plus, we're going to be starting on Fridays in the new year, flashback Fridays of just important, vital information, going with themes of the month or themes of conversations we're having on the pod new, but maybe you missed before. So stay tuned for that. And we want to know what you want to listen to. Like, who do you want on the pod? What kind of conversations do you want us to have? Do you want to be a guest? Do you have something fabulous and important to share? And or do you want to just come on and do some live period coaching? This is all for you. So share with us what you want. If you haven't given us a review yet, please go to Apple, Spotify, give us a 5-star review.
That's our Christmas present. All we want for Christmas is 5-star reviews.
Yes. Oh, we got to put that on. I think that's a great thing that we'll put on socials. I love it. But we are so excited. Season 2 was incredible. I feel like we really got into a groove. Not that season 1 we didn't, but I feel like each year is just getting better and better. And we have lots of fun surprises for you. So stay tuned. And thank you so much for just coming along this journey with us. It's been really fun.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks for your feedback. We absolutely want more of it. So please tell us everything. The email is in the show notes. And of course, you're always welcome to slide into our DMs. There's going to be a few switch ups next season as well. So you can stay tuned because you'll hear it at the very first episode. In the very first moments, you'll hear one of our changes. So see you next year.
Bye, everybody. Enjoy the holidays.
But enjoy the replays over the holidays. So don't skip us out on the holidays. Catch up, and then we'll see you in the new year. Thanks for listening. Bye for now. A big shout out and thank you to our sponsors for today's episode, Period Coaching School and Katie Bresek Wellness.
Thanks to you, our favorite bestie, for listening to the Period Besties Podcast, where no topic is TMI. And of course, share this episode with your besties.
Remember to leave us a 5-star review, nothing less than the best for us besties, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
You can follow us on Instagram at Stasha Washburn and at Katie Bresek, or email us at periodbestiespodcast@gmail.com.
Check out more about us at katiebresek.com and periodcoachingschool.com. And of course, check the show notes for free goodies and extras that support this episode.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye for now, besties.